Help me, Mama.
Hey everybody, this is Emily for Help Me Mama. Today we're going to be going over some teething tips, some problems and solutions that commonly happen with teething. I know it can be so hard to watch your baby teethe, and I don't know if you've had the experience that I have had. I was teething actually at the same time as Ryland, my second boy, was teething, and man, had some sympathy pain. It really does hurt, and you really do want to chew on everything. So for your sake and for your baby's sake, I'm going to do a couple of just, the overview of some things, common problems with teething and common solutions. So over here on the problem side, you have gnawing. When they're just chewing on everything. And then they're drooling everywhere. And then there's pain. Those poor little guys, they really do have pain. So with the gnawing, how they're chewing on everything, one thing I forgot to put down here is just your finger. If you have nothing else, if they don't have the teeth yet, if it's just their gums, you can let them gnaw on your little finger. Sometimes a pinky is also good. If they have teeth, let me emphasize, do not use your finger. It will hurt. You can get those little teething toys. There's a whole bunch of little things. I would say anything that's just squishy, anything that, anything that they like to look at too, because I think if it doesn't have like a shaker or something on it, if they don't pick it up and continually play with it in the store, don't buy it, because if they get bored with it in the store or at a friend's house or whoever you might find a teething toy from, it's not going to work, because they won't pick it up to chew it if they're not interested in it. I think that those teething necklaces that you can find online are really great. My sister had one. If I was going to I haven't gotten one because Melly's just been so mellow and I never knew about them before. But if I was going to get one, I would definitely get one in like a neutral or a color that I wear all the time, so that you could wear it every single day of your life while your baby is teething. Like a gray or a white or a blue or a black, something that's just a real neutral color you could wear with anything, because especially if you're going to church or somewhere nice, you want it to match any outfit that you would possibly wear. You only have to buy one then. So one of those teething necklaces, my nephew really liked that my sister would wear, and they always are going to be pulling on your earrings anyway and your necklaces, so it's nice to have something that they can chew on and play with that won't break. Another thing, and let me get this, these potholders. If you're at home and say you're sitting at the table or doing your thing and your baby's like, nah, I have nothing to chew on, you can get these little pot holders. I got this one at the 99. I've seen these selling for like $4 or $5. You don't need to buy them for $4 or $5. You can get them at the 99-cent store, and they have, I don't know if you can see this like texture that they have on them, and it's made, I think, of silicone, and like, oh, even I want to chew it. No, I'm just kidding. I don't chew on them, only when I'm teething. Just kidding. So pot holders, like if you got, these are like double use. I would definitely invest in some of these. You can let them chew on a spoon. I think letting them chew on a baby spoon is a good idea, because they can learn, how to hold it, what do you do with this thing, which side is like the nice one to chew on. And then also they make these food sucker things, and I'll talk about this down here with pain too. Let me see if I have this thing, and you just snap it in. I call it a food sucker. I think it actually has a name. This one is by Munchkin brand. They come in like a set of 2. And basically what you do is you pop like a little frozen banana or maybe some watermelon, anything that you think your baby would enjoy sucking on. But cold is good, so it doesn't have to be cold, but watermelon has been like my best go in these things. You put them in the little mesh pocket, then you put it like this, and you just snap it up, and you kind of have to hold it for them, but then they can just chew on it like a piece of corn on the cob. So this has been helpful. Like I said, Melly hasn't had the problems that my boys did, but my nephew, when he was teething, he really liked this too. Some of these tricks I didn't learn until like 2 times through, and then I haven't needed it. Okay, so number 2, is the drooling problem. Your baby is drooling and drooling and teething, and they seem to not have any control over what comes out of their mouth, and they're drooling everywhere. I have two different solutions for this depending on the weather. If it is really cold outside, you don't want your baby to get all that wetness all over their chest and then walk outside, and then you get really cold and your baby could get a cold on top of their teething. So if it's cold outside, what I suggest is one of those bibs that has cloth on the front, plastic on the back. If you're in a pinch, any bib will do. But then you have that you can wipe their drool if you need to, and it also doesn't allow the wetness to get back onto their t-shirt. And I would just let them wear the bib all day. That's why they sell those baby clothes sets with like 2 pairs of PJs and a bib on it, so that your baby can still be matching and fashionable even when they're teething. If it is hot outside, I say just let them roll around in the nudie pants. I mean, all they need is a diaper, really. If you're sitting inside or even if you're outside, as long as it's not too bright or if you're in the shade, there's no reason that your baby needs to drool all over 6 pairs of PJs every day if it's 80 degrees and you're just fine. So that would be my recommendation for the drooling. As far as the pain goes, pain is the last problem, and I know it can be so hard to watch your baby in pain. And like I said, when Rai and I were teething together, it's rough. And I think I had it easier. I mean, I was getting, my gums were already big enough for the teeth that were coming in, and his teeny tiny gums still had to stretch. So I think they have it even harder than we do when we have, getting our wisdom teeth or something like that. So it was really hard. I have a principle as far as pain management for the babies. And this is a principle. Again, I am not a doctor. I am not a nurse. This is not a prescription. You should ask your doctor or, read the instructions on your medicine, okay? My principle is if you would take medicine for a toothache, you have mercy on your child and give them a little medicine. I try to always hold off on medicine, even for myself, until nighttime, because I don't want to be eating medicine, and of course you don't want your baby to having medicine all the time. This is my principle, okay? This is a personal preference. So during the day, I would give them something soft to chew on to help ease that pain, because it really does feel better when you're chomping on something if you have a tooth coming in. And if your baby likes something cold, you can give them something cold. Owen, I remember, did not like anything cold. And so if they just spit it right out of their mouth, there's no use continuing with ice or cold or whatever. You can try these things again with something cold, stick some fruit in the fridge, and then pop it in here. And some babies do seem to like that. Or even like a cold wet rag, something chewy, pop this thing in the freezer, the pot holder that we talked about, any of those toys or whatever that they like, that they use. It's hard to find something I find that they will hold on to when it's cold. I think that's why this thing might work so well, because it's not cold for them, just the fruit is cold. So you can try something cold. That might help with the pain. And something soft, definitely. At nighttime, my experiences has been that when my kiddos were really, really teething hard, they would be a little bit cranky during the day, but I would be able to pacify them by either nursing or giving them something to chew on. But at nighttime, I would nurse them and nurse them and nurse them, and as soon as I would put them down, 15 minutes later they'd be up, because the pain would wake them up. So I think at nighttime, as soon as you're really sure that they're teething and they're not sick and they're not hungry, it's not a poopy diaper, like you've put them down 3 times and they wake up 15 minutes later and they're drooling all over the place and maybe even have, runny nose or mild fever or something like that, all the signs of teething. If you know that it's teething, I think give them either those little teething tablets, which you can find in the baby section, or give them infant Tylenol. And this is my principle. Again, this is just me. This is not a prescription, okay? But I would say give them a little something for the pain, at least at night, so that they can sleep. And it doesn't have to be Tylenol. If you have a remedy, all natural remedy that can replace Tylenol or whatever it is, Use your best judgment as a mom. Ask a doctor, of course, ask a nurse or whatnot. But let me just tell you, it hurts. It hurts, and it's so hard to watch your baby. I know it is. So I hope that these teething tips were helpful for you, that you can find some peace and your baby can find some comfort in them. And it's not going to last forever. The teething is not going to last forever. Those first couple of teeth will start to pop in. Teething can take a long time, and I just always warn moms, like, it could be on and off, like a week of teething and then a week not really and then a week on, it could be months, because some of my babies have started teething at 3 months and they don't really get teeth until 6 to 8 months, and it's on again, off again. So just know if this is the first bout, it might be a long haul. So get prepared. These things, it's not going to last just a week. So get prepared. I hope that this video was helpful to you. Again, this is Emily with Help Me Mama. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. You can always subscribe, pass it along to a friend. And if you've missed some of our older videos, go back and listen to them, and I hope that they will be helpful to you too.
Help me, Mama!